She is horny for the pizza.
Look at what Sleek Makeup sent me. 2 boxes of Tampa's Best Donuts, even though I'm on a diet. I just burned the tip of my tongue on my coffee, and now I can't taste anything. Who is out to get me?
Go fruit yourself.
Hey Freebirds, welcome to another episode. So I have a microphone today, so the sound should be good. It shouldn't be echoey like the last video. Let me know in the comments below if it is good sound. And today's video is on Jaclyn Hill's low-carb Snapchat fridge. So she Snapchatted her fridge a little while ago and she showed everything that she is eating on her current diet. And I just want to talk about that, and I want to help her make the connection and you guys make the connection and her viewers make the connection between low carb and low health, low energy, cravings, binging, weight gain, all that sort of stuff which is associated, and just give my own personal experience and also some science as well. So that is my aim of the video today. So Jaclyn, I've got nothing at all personal against Jaclyn. She seems like a cool chick. She seems really funny. I was watching her snaps and I'm cracking up going, man, this girl is quite a character. So if you want to watch some pretty funny snaps, mostly that is, Jaclyn's Snapchats are pretty funny. So all right, let's take a look at her fridge and I'm going to share my insights. Check it out.
I've been getting so many questions about what I eat on my diet, so I thought I would show you guys a peek into my refrigerator. Keep in mind some things in here are for John, like that milk, but the majority of it is mine. For breakfast, I have strawberries every single morning. These are 2 big things filled with fresh cut organic strawberries, and I eat that with eggs and oatmeal. So I've got my sweet potatoes back there, which I could use about now because I'm feeling kind of hungry. Oatmeal did not fill me up.
Okay, so as you can see from Jaclyn's reaction, she's not eating enough for breakfast. She's eating strawberries, which is so fantastic. Like, kudos to you, Jaclyn. I'm so glad you have fruit in there. And she has quite a bit of strawberries, quite a bit of fruit there, but it still only adds up to about 80 calories for those strawberries. They're just so low in calories. And the oatmeal, I approve of. I definitely approve of. If I was to eat cooked food for breakfast, which I don't, I would recommend, I would be eating oatmeal myself. And in my Raw Till 4 book, yes, shameless plug, I put a lot of work into this book, so there's no reason I shouldn't be proud of it. This is my sweet peanut butter oats breakfast. That is super tasty. Check it out. It's page 79 of my book. And so the oatmeal and strawberries is good, but then we go on to the eggs. Okay, eggs, as you know, are not healthy, and they're commonly used in scientific studies. I say this all the time, but it's true. They're commonly used in scientific studies to demonstrate the damage on arteries that cholesterol does. So you have to keep that in mind. Okay, when you're having these eggs, you are damaging your arteries, and this is not good for your long-term health. It's not good for aging. It is really something you should avoid. So she's basically having a breakfast that is low in calories and is high in cholesterol and fat and protein. So it's not something that is really going to be, a good start to the day. Even if she's taking out the egg yolks, which maybe she is and she's having egg whites, they are still unhealthy. The protein in them are actually very unhealthy for your cells.
I'm obsessed with shrimp ceviche. It's really easy to make. It's literally shrimp, tomatoes, cilantro, lemon juice. And I will also put some garlic in it, and I just eat it like this with a fork. It makes such a good snack, and if I eat enough of it, it will be a meal for me because it is pretty filling with the shrimp. Because with what I'm currently eating, I get full, my stomach isn't actually growing, but I'm not satisfied, I'll be satisfied when I eat Doritos.
Okay, so I'm so glad that Jaclyn made this connection, that she actually said that she's feeling full. She's eating till she's full, but she's not feeling satisfied. And this is what happens to everyone on these low carb, high protein diets. It happened to myself. I'd eat and eat and eat it, and I'd be eating a lot of fat and protein, but I wasn't getting the carbohydrates that I needed, that my brain and my body needed. Because in a healthy state, every one of the trillions of cells in your body and your brain, they run on carbohydrates, aka sugar. Your brain needs that simple sugar to be satisfied. We're humans, that's our fuel. That's our preferred fuel. That's why whenever we try and get around that, we get cravings and we end up binging. And that's what I did. And that's what Jaclyn is doing. So it's important to remember, if you're not feeling satisfied after a meal, you simply didn't get enough sugar. And when I'm saying sugar, I'm meaning preferably fruit sugar. But if you're not getting that simple fruit sugar, then your brain is going to send you to other sources. And you'll notice that throughout the day. Maybe it's honey, maybe it's white sugar, maybe it's junky products like donuts and stuff like that. But it's always the brain trying to get the carbohydrates. So it's always best to have the healthiest source, which is fruit first and foremost. So Jaclyn's experience is so much like mine from 2006 that I want to show you in my diary just, the way that I was eating like 11 years ago and when I was on a high protein, low carb diet as well. Oh, it sucked. So check this out. This is from 2006. Omelette, 2 eggs, bacon, spinach. I actually have chicken livers here. This is all the way from 2006. Chicken livers fried in butter, ghee, and coconut oil. And there's omelette with bacon. I mean, this is obviously high protein, high fat. And at first I'm like, this is working. This is working. Oh my God, it's working. But then pretty soon after, I was binging. I was binging out on the sugar because I needed the sugar. The brain is going to send you to the sugar if you're eating stuff like this. So the shrimp meal that Jaclyn is having is a typical low carb, high protein option. The thing about shrimps though, okay, I love all animals, yes I do, and I love shrimps included, but they are dirty little bottom feeders. They're like the cockroaches of the ocean and of the waterways. They are like the cockroaches, okay? They feed on dead carcass. They eat the parasites off dead carcass. They eat the dead skin cells. They eat the poop around the poop. And it's really, when you're eating them, you're actually getting a mouthful of digested parasites and dead skin. And that kind of stuff isn't really the nicest thing to be eating, is it? So, it's best to avoid things that are going to, contaminate your system. And not only that, they're full of cholesterol and dioxins and also PCBs from the ocean, which you can never avoid. They're seriously, it's a chemical cocktail and it is not good for your health at all. So I recommend that you avoid the shrimp and you actually go for the plant-based shrimp. I've had the mock shrimp and it is delicious. It is really, really nice. And there's really no difference from the original. And you don't have to inflict cruelty on another being, which is like a huge bonus.
Kale with everything. I have the baby kale right here, and then I have this entire huge bin just filled with kale. I put kale basically underneath everything that I eat. Had an hour to relax. Just ate some chicken and kale. What's new? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I've cheated on my diet a couple times. I had queso and chips last night, and then a Nutter Butter, and then a glass of wine, and then another. But I woke up with a new little blemish right here, feeling exhausted and just out of it, and I'm like, that was not worth it at all.
Okay, so I can totally relate to how Jaclyn is feeling because I've been there before. I've been there before, and I'm sure many of you out there have been there before as well. Like, kale is great. It's really protective. It's a good vegetable, okay? It's great that she is including it. It's great that she's got some salad in there. But really, it's so little of it that it's not going to provide a lot of nutrition and usable fuel. She needs the carbohydrates in there. She needs to be putting some rice in there, needs to be putting some potatoes, some fruit, adding something that has some real carbohydrate kick, some sugar kick, which is, again, remember what the brain and the body runs on in a healthy state. Okay, so she's obviously getting bored as well. She's kind of like, what's new? Chicken and kale. What's new? So she's bored as well, and she's binging out. So she's probably like so sick of binging as well. I mean, I could go on forever. I've made a video about binging. Maybe I'll link it here, and where I talk all about my binging background, and it's a very important video. It really is, and a lot of girls got benefits from it. So maybe watch that video. I talk about the binging, and it just makes you crazy. You know what it's like. Who wants to live like that every meal, every day, every week? And I was living like that, and now I'm living free of that. And so many other girls around the world are living free of that because they made the connection. Then they're like, holy shit, I need to get fruit. I need to get simple sugars. I need to get some carbohydrates, rice, potatoes, pasta even. But I need something that has a good source of carbohydrates that's going to give me satisfaction after a meal. Not that feeling of, oh my God, I want to eat something. And like looking around just like, oh yeah, what can I eat? And just going out and binging and going crazy. And then eating so much more fat and so much more crap than is on your diet that the diet doesn't mean anything anyway. So yeah, I hope you guys are making that connection.
This right here is salmon, and it's prepared with garlic, ginger, and lime. It's so good.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm trying to get ready to go work out, and my cramps are so bad. They're giving me like breathing problems. Does anyone else get cramps that bad? I mean, obviously that's a stupid question. Obviously there's millions of girls that get cramps this bad, but it's just like, I have to bend over. I'm like, oof.
Oh yeah, girl, I can totally relate to the period pain. All right, before the high carb vegan lifestyle, I was in pain all the time. Yeah, I recently had that issue where I swapped my diet dramatically, but that is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this consistent every month in pain. That's how I was when I was eating meat and dairy. Okay, I was so bad sometimes that I would have to take days off work because I couldn't walk. I was in so much agony, and that is not right. Okay, something is going wrong there, and I can definitely connect that with having more fat and more protein. I mean, even on a vegan lifestyle, if you have excess amounts of fat, you're going to feel it as well, but not quite as intense as a meat and dairy diet. So Jaclyn, definitely look into that, because I've had so much success on the Raw Till 4 lifestyle and also on raw vegan as well. So high carbohydrate vegan lifestyles, any of those are going to, give you a lot more freedom when it comes to, period pain. Whereas the meat and dairy is definitely going to contribute to it with all the hormones, extra added animal hormones as well. And all right, let's go to the salmon. Okay, you know how I feel about salmon? It is cruel, of course, to eat salmon. People think, fish don't have feelings. They have feelings. Okay, they feel pain. Story closed. The other thing is high in fat as well, which they don't care about on the paleo diet, on the high protein, but this definitely contributes to ill health and weight gain. And also there is the heavy metals problem that we have, the mercury. I mean, at this point, with the shrimp as well, Jaclyn, I recommend that you get a mercury test, okay? See how your mercury levels are, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be high, and that can actually contribute to nervous system damage, like some irreversible damage. So the video just cut out, but as I was saying, salmon is not healthy. It's high in fat and protein and is not human food. You do not need it in your diet.
This right here is just cooked up hamburger meat that I'll eat with kale. I have teriyaki chicken in the back. It's no dairy, no sugar, no alcohol, and pretty much no carbs, which is basically everything that I live in life. And honestly, you guys, sometimes I feel really uncomfortable sharing things like this in the moment, but I'm just really going through a lot of anxiety right now. Just a lot, like very intense anxiety and depression. And there's absolutely nothing that has triggered it at all. Like literally nothing. But I'm convinced that's why my skin is breaking out so bad, because I'm just so stressed and anxious all day. And it frustrates me because there's no reason for it. There's no reason, but it's just like my brain is just choosing to work against me right now. 24 hours a day, my brain is just like destroying my life. And like I said, nothing triggered this. Nothing. Like everything in my life is going great. I have every reason to be feeling amazing.
Okay, so this is an important part, okay? I actually came from a past of suicidal tendencies. I actually made a video about it. Maybe some of you have seen it. And it was definitely connected to what I eat. And people really struggle with this a lot. They're like, no, it has nothing to do with diet. No, it's nothing. I'm just depressed. I have a mental problem, whatever. Okay, sometimes this is the case, okay, but most of the time it is to do with what we're eating, and it makes perfect sense. Think about it, okay? If you're not going to fuel your brain correctly, then is it going to function properly? No. It's not going to function properly. It's going to be starved of glucose. It's going to be starved of its preferred fuel, which is carbohydrates, which is sugar. So if you're not getting enough sugar to your brain and to your body cells, do you think your brain's going to be happy? No. Is it going to exhibit happy emotions? No. Is it going to be harder for you to be happy? Yes. Okay. And you're going to be lethargic and you're going to be feeling like the world's collapsing around you, even though your life seems great. And that's what Jaclyn is saying. And that's how I was too. I'm like, I've got all these things going for me in my life. Why do I want to kill myself? Why do I feel so bad all the time? And when I got onto a high carb vegan lifestyle, everything changed. I thought it was like, oh, God had found me. I just couldn't believe it was like night and day how I felt. When I got that fuel into my cells, I just finally felt like myself. I finally had the energy. I finally had the fuel to feel good about things. So please make that connection. This is a very important one for people with anxiety and with depression, with suicidal tendencies. I'm not saying it's the cure-all, okay? But I'm saying it's something you need to look at, okay? If you're having these symptoms, look at what you're eating. Look very closely at it. High fat, high protein is going to contribute to that bad feeling all the time. Another factor that Jaclyn needs to take very careful consideration of is the amount of animal protein that she's eating and the fact that she's having any animal protein at all. IGF-1, okay, this is an important growth hormone. It's insulin growth factor 1. It's an important hormone which is secreted by your liver when you eat animal protein, okay? And what it does is make cancer cells multiply rapidly. It makes you age rapidly. So basically, you die earlier when you're eating animal protein. And she's having a lot of it. Jaclyn, you're having a lot of animal protein. So you really need to keep an eye on this. You know, this gene can be turned off. The cancer gene can be turned off depending on what you eat.
Men and women who don't eat meat, egg white, or dairy proteins have significantly lower levels circulated within their bodies. Switching people to a plant-based diet can significantly lower IGF-1 levels within just 11 days. This is one way to explain the low rates of cancer among plant-based populations. The drop in animal protein intake leads to a drop in IGF-1, which leads to a drop in cancer growth.
I have some brown rice and then sweet potatoes. Lots of sweet potatoes because it's one of the only carbs I can have, and it's so good. Like, I just want cheese. Just like cheesy bread. In a cupcake. I want cheesy bread in a cupcake. Like, why? Isn't it weird though? Because for me personally, like, I always feel like crap after I eat that stuff, but yet I continue to crave it every day. And then as I'm eating it, I'm like, this is amazing. And then when I'm done, I'm like, one of the only carbs I can have. And
okay, so Jaclyn is experiencing typical cravings. I mean, like, we've all experienced these cravings, right? But especially when we're not eating enough carbohydrates. And we just need to make that connection. Once we make that connection, we're like, yeah, I get this. And when I have a craving, I know what to give myself. I know what to feed myself. And I know sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to. I just want to eat the crap. You know, I just want to go and eat that crap. I mean, if it's plant foods, sure, you can get away with having some donuts here and having some junk food, but you need to recognize that the reason you want to have those is because you're just not getting, you're glucose deficient, okay? You're carbohydrate deficient. So again, you got to make that connection. And like she said, she's wanting cheese on bread, and it's a very dense calorie source with that heavy carbohydrate, the bread underneath the cheese. And she's wanting cupcakes, which is super sweet, has a lot of simple sugars in it. So you know, your brain is going to send you for that. But this is where the sweet fruits need to come in. You need to realize when you're wanting this simple sugar, it's actually brain communicating saying, I want fruit. Okay, so having a smoothie, having some fruit meals. I mean, I have so many fruit meals in this book. Oh my God, nearly ripped my book. But look, shameless plug. Seriously, there are so many fruit recipes. Like, seriously, BG balls are so good, and it's just dates and coconut sugar and some sweet leaf. It's just beautiful. Anyway, there's options that you can have that are going to make you feel satisfied, that help you be slim and healthy, and you're not going to get the cravings. So it's win-win on every level. This binge cycle will continue, and the weight gain will come back forever until you get it, until you make that connection that, oh, I need carbohydrates. I need a clean source of carbohydrates. And I don't mean cupcakes. Cupcakes aren't carbohydrates. They're mainly fat food. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the carbohydrates, of course.
Those eating low-carb diets appear to cut their lives short. But not just any low-carb diet, specifically those based on animal sources, whereas vegetable-based low-carb diets were associated with a lower risk of death.
Snacks, I eat just organic cashews that are unsalted. They're very basic, but you get used to them. At first I hated them, and now I've actually started to like them and appreciate them. And pumpkin seeds. I eat a lot of pumpkin seeds as well. And then avocado. Avocado. Whenever I'm starving, chop up avocado and put it all over everything. He told me, like, if you're feeling really hungry, like, just add avocado to any meal that you're eating to help fill you up. And I was like, I'm going to be eating 17 avocados a day.
This girl really does crack me up. She is funny and she's insightful and she's making the connection, but she doesn't realize she's making the connection. You know, she's saying, I'm going to be eating so many avocados a day, and she's right, you know, because she's not going to get the satisfaction because it is mainly a fat food. And don't get me wrong, I love avocados. I eat avocados. I recommend avocados, but it is a high-fat food, and it's something that if you're going to eat it all throughout the day with every meal, you're just replacing the sugar need that you want with fat. So again, can you see that the cravings are going to come in because you're not fueling yourself correctly, you're not listening correctly, you're going for the fat. So the more fat you eat, the more you're just going to be unsatisfied. So, but that's typical. It's typical like low carb recommendation. So although I love avocados, eat them in moderation and go for the sweet fruit, go for the sweet foods over the fat every time. Okay, so we have the nuts as well. We have the cashews and the pumpkin seeds. I think that's great to have nuts. It's good because they're plant foods. But again, cashews, they are high in saturated fat, so they aren't going to be an ideal, snack when it comes to, a daily event or several times during the day, because it's really going to raise your fat levels up. And all the top plant doctors have the research showing that if you go into the teens with fat, if you go 10% of daily calories often, then your health starts to decline. It is not how we are meant to eat. So up to 10% of daily calories is what I recommend in Raw Till 4, and is what all the leading plant-based doctors recommend as well, and what is backed up by the cardiologists as well, who have the science, they have the results. So just remember that we aren't high-fat creatures, okay? We can't make ourselves high-fat creatures just because we want to, just because our egos say, I want to eat fat. It's not going to work, okay? So a better snack is always to get the sweet fruit in. And if you want to have the potatoes and the rice and the pasta, that as well. And if you want to have a sweet sauce, but you need to really make the connection that you need fruit. You need fruit in your life.
All right, you guys, this is the best protein powder I've ever tasted in my entire life. Literally, I'm not joking. It tastes like a milkshake. It tastes like Haagen-Dazs ice cream. It's ridiculous. My friend Jackie is the one who ordered it last week. She ordered 2 bags and she gave me the other one because she wanted me to try it. And I'm obsessed. All the ingredients are right here on the back so you can see. I'm technically not allowed to have this if you want to get technical, because I can't have chia seeds. Ugh, whatever, who cares? Or rock salt. Happy Jaclyn will save you 10% off at checkout.
Okay, so this is really disappointing for me because, I know Jaclyn doesn't know. I know she hasn't made the connection, but I can't help but be disappointed, of course, because I care about animals, and I can tell Jaclyn is an animal lover type. She's sweet, I can tell that she's got a big heart, and she wouldn't realize that she's actually contributing to animal cruelty. She's promoting it and she's spreading it around, and she's making money off it as well, which is even worse. I don't have anything wrong with people. There's nothing wrong with people like doing promotions and stuff like that, but please research what you're promoting before you actually promote it, and find out whether it's ethical, because whey protein with that powder is not ethical. It causes a lot of pain and suffering for mama cow and the baby. The babies are ripped away from the mama and they are put into the veal industry. The males are put into the veal industry. The females are put back into the dairy cycle, and the veal calves are killed as babies. Okay, so when you've got to realize there's a chain of events that when you buy this product and when you promote this product, you are supporting, especially Jaclyn, who has over 4 million subscribers on YouTube. Jaclyn, you have a responsibility. Remember that, people are watching you. They're copying you. What you're doing is promoting cruelty. And I know you don't know this. I know you don't. But it's in a pretty package. So it's like, how can this be cruel? but the origin of that package is cruel. Please, please research before you promote this stuff. And it is not healthy. Let's not lie to people, please. Okay, Freebirds, so that is my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more videos like this, give us a thumbs up. Let Jaclyn know that I made this video. I mean, I make these videos because I really genuinely want to help people. I want to help her viewers. I want to help Jaclyn. I want to help her viewers. I want to help you guys. I want to help the animals and make this world a better place. I really, really do want that. So I hope that you can feel that and you can help me in this quest, because I can't do it without you guys. I can't do it without you guys sharing this video and letting her know and just making it possible. It needs to be a community effort. All right, so the video took me a while to put together. So, I mean, I'm going to hopefully bring you another one in the next couple of days. Let me know down below if you have anyone else in mind that you think needs some education and needs some help, and I can put another video like this together and, record their Snapchat, send it to me, whatever, and I will do my best. All right, I love you, Freebirds, and I will see you soon.